Thank you everyone for joining me today. We will go through ITIL or Foundation Summary. And this is the summary for the course that we have discussed for the past days. So we started with answering the question, what is ITIL and why we need ITIL? Why we are attending this training? Why we need to understand ITIL and pass the exam? Why our management, they approved the budget for this exam and the course? Why they approved the time dedicated to attend this training? So in brief, ITIL is a global standard that will help us to manage the IT service in a better way. The whole idea is about IT service management. Improving the IT service management will improve the business, will improve customer satisfaction, will improve even staff members' satisfaction and the understanding of the IT as a big picture, the better resource controls, the better performance. So ITIL definitely will improve that. It's proven and it is a global standard that is also, you can customize ITIL according to your needs. So it's flexible and dynamic. So we work in IT, we deliver different services. From these services, stakeholders, the people affected by this service, they are getting some benefits, some perceived benefits, usefulness, and the importance of something. And this is the definition of the value they are getting from these services. Services, for example, like printers, printing services, I mean, email service, internet access, many services we provide in our IT environment. So when we improve these services, the value expected and enabled also will be maximized. So here we have two parties, two organizations, the service provider and the service consumer. Service provider here, from ITIL perspective and from this in this course, it's us, the IT organization, the IT department, the IT people. So we are the service providers. On the other hand, we have service consumers. So we do some activities and we will understand these activities. We are following some principles. We do the activities according to some practices. We have governance, and as a result of that, we will deliver a service. This service will enable value for stakeholders. We will always improve. So we provide the service. We do some activities. We configure our resources. On the other hand, we have the service consumer, which is another organization. By the way, organization could be just a department like HR department or marketing department. This is also an organization. So within the service consumer organization, we have three main roles here we need to understand and think about. First role is the customer, and this role defines the requirements for the service. They take responsibility for the outcomes of service consumption. It could be one person or team. So customer defines the requirements. Good. Then we have another role, which is sponsor. This guy with dollar signs at the top of his head. These are dollar signs, not oranges. So the sponsor will authorize the budget. We need budget, we need approval to pay for the service. So sponsor is the role that authorizes budget for service consumption. As we agreed in our discussions, budget is an estimate for the future. Cost, it's past expenditure. So third role will be the user. The user will use the service. This is the third role. We need to understand the three roles very well. Example here, of course, during the explanation of this course, we discussed many examples, but just simple one here for the sake of revision. We have internet in our organization. This internet speed, someone within the organization decided on the speed. Someone decided on how many connections do we need, which vendor, which internet service provider to get the service from. So someone decided on that, and this is the customer. Could be our owner, our CTO, our CIO, our IT manager, our whatever. In my house, it's me, maybe, or someone else. So here, this is the customer. Defines the requirements for this internet speed, how many connections, and so forth. Then someone authorized this budget, maybe financial manager authorized the budget for the IT manager. It could be the same person. I am the only person in the organization, or I am the IT manager. I have the authority also to authorize the budget. Maybe could be small organization. In my home, I'm the same person. Okay. Then we have the users. They use internet in your organization. They don't know about how much the internet costs or what is the speed. I don't know about that. I don't know about the speed in my organization, speed of the internet. I don't know how many connections we have. I don't know how much we are paying monthly or yearly. I don't know. I'm just using the service. So I am just a user. So these three roles are very important to understand and differentiate between them. Sometimes they are combined. Good. So we will provide value through service. So the service definition, it is a means of enabling value co-creation. Co-creation between both parties, between service provider and service consumer. How? By facilitating outcomes, benefits, results that customers want to achieve without the customer having to manage specific costs and risks. So we are getting the service from a product, which is the configuration of an organization's resources designed to offer value for a consumer. So product could be mobile phone, could be car, could be mobile app, website. So it could be tangible or intangible. This is the product. So I go to Microsoft website, which is the product from Microsoft, to get some value there, which is some services, searching for some tips and tricks of how to use Excel, or finding a solution to some, or troubleshoot some errors. Excuse me. So the product will give me the service, and the product could be tangible or intangible. The product means configuring resources. These resources could be goods, for example, laptops, printers, access to resources. For example, we access printing services, we access internet, we access shared folders, and also service actions. Service actions, for example, also requests from service desk. I have an issue, so the service desk will help me to fix this issue, incident, problem, some challenge, some events, and so on. So this is what we mean by service action. So here we have the concept of service offering, which is the description of one or more services. So when you join our organization, you can use printing services. You can access a folder for backup. We have shared the folder for specific departments. We have, we will provide you with a laptop with access to printer and internet and so on. You can get a phone, a mobile phone, you can get a car, it depends. So this is what we call service offering, and the service offerings will be published in service catalog, what's so called service catalog. It could be service catalog, it's like a restaurant menu. It could be online IT portal. So we need to provide a service. We need to enable the value, and we have a relationship. This relationship between different stakeholders, mainly service providers and service consumers. So this relationship should be managed. First, we define this relationship. We manage. What I mean by manage is monitoring, controlling, improving. If we are managing a team of people, we encourage them, we motivate them, we mentor them. If we are managing some resources, physical resources, so we will monitor and control, take corrective actions. Also, if we are managing relationships, services, also we need to define that, we need to establish that, we need to improve that. So we will do some activities as service providers, and also the service consumers, they do some activities, so we can have what's so called value co-creation. Example for that, every day, or we use search engines, maybe Google search engine or Bing or other search engines. So the search engine is there, it's up and running. For example, Google, they have their search engine, they did some efforts, they configured some resources to provide us with this search engine. So it is there. Am I getting any value from that? I need to use it so I can get the value. If I'm not using it, so there is no value. So as a consumer here, I need to do some efforts. I need to use Google search engine so I can get the value. So Google, they did some activities, they configured their resources, they provided the output, which is the Google search engine. This is the output, and I need to use it so I can get the outcome. So definition, output is a tangible or intangible deliverable of an activity. Outcome is a result for a stakeholder enabled by one or more outputs. So my bank, they have their website. This is what? This is an output. They have mobile application. This is an output. The coffee I have, this is an output. We have, it's tangible. The website is intangible. So when I use the website of my bank, I'm getting some benefits here. I'm getting some results. This is the outcome. When I drink the coffee, I'm getting different I mean benefits. Maybe I'll wake up, or I will drink this coffee for socialize with friends. So the output is the coffee, the outcome is the benefit, the result from using this output. Good. We will do some activities. Some activities will enable the output, enable the value through the usage of the output. So we need to pay for that. We need some efforts. We need resources. So there is a cost involved with these activities. Cost only? No, cost and risk. So cost, the amount of money spent in the past on a specific activity or resource. You remember budget, estimation for future. Cost is the amount of money spent in the past already on a specific activity or resource. So we have costs removed and we have costs imposed. I will highlight that in a minute. We have also risks, possible event that could cause harm or loss or make it more difficult to achieve objectives. So we have risks removed and risks imposed. So now here you see we have the outcome, results, benefits, we have costs, we have risks. So if I'm asking you the question, should we outsource our service desk or not? How can you answer this question? If I'm asking you another question, should we move to the cloud or not? Should we upgrade to Windows 11 or whatever Windows or not? Should we use Linux? Should we use Apple? So answering this question will require three things: benefits, the outcome, the results we are expecting, the costs. So if I move my servers to the cloud, I will save on electricity, but also I will pay for the cloud. So we have some costs removed, some costs imposed. What about the risk? Same thing. We are moving to the cloud. So there are some risks removed, some risks imposed. Not only moving to the cloud, I'm just using that as an example. This will apply to almost everything. Outsource some services, upgrading some systems or operating systems, and so on. So the answer for the question about should we move to the cloud, should we outsource service desk, should we upgrade to whatever Windows or Linux or whatsoever, depends on the answer for these questions. Three questions actually. Benefits, the outcome we are getting. Costs, costs removed, the balance between the costs removed and the imposed. Risks, the risks removed and imposed. Good. So we will provide a service. This service will enable value. This value is the outcome from this output. It will excuse me. It will cost. It will cost us some money. There are risks. So with this service, should we provide some warranty? Definitely yes. So we have utility and warranty, both of them. So the service is providing us functionality. This functionality, this is what we need from this product or service. This one represents what the service does. Is the service fit for purpose? So the service will either support the performance of the consumer or remove some constraints from the consumer. So we need both. We need utility and warranty. What about warranty? Warranty, so we said utility is functionality, warranty is assurance. Warranty is the assurance that a product or service will meet agreed requirements. Where to find these agreed requirements? Service level agreements, contracts, different agreements. Who will define these requirements? The customer. So the warranty, as we mentioned, is the assurance, and this represents how the service performs. Also determines whether a service is fit for use or not. So here we need to make sure that the service has defined and agreed conditions and they are met. So we will ensure the appropriate level of availability, capacity, continuity, and security. So with warranty, we have 4 other characteristics. The service is available, there is capacity there, continuity there, and disaster recovery, it is secure. It is a secure service, of course. For the utility, it is fit for purpose. It will improve or support the performance of the consumer or remove some constraints. Okay, so with every service, let's say, for example, I joined your organization. You told me you can print on the color printer in the first floor. So when I press print from my application, it should print. So this is functionality. If it is not printing, I will call service desk to provide support, and this is the warranty. I hope this simple example clarifies the 2 terms. Of course, in the course, we used lots of examples. Good. Now we are discussing what's so-called 4 dimensions of service management system. What is that, and what are the 4 dimensions? Let's have a look. Let me zoom. So we are enabling value. We are enabling value here through products and services. So we need 4 main dimensions. First one, organization and people. We need people. We need human beings with some qualification. We need org chart. We need job description. We need some training. We need to understand culture, team building activities, communications, systems of authority. So all these items under organizations and people. Second dimension, which is information and technology. It is not information technology, it's information and technology. Information technology is the team, the department that manages the IT resources within the organization. But information here, any information created by any stakeholder across the enterprise, and which technology or what technology they are using to create this information, to manage this information. So if we think about our organization, so HR, they create reports, so they create some information here. How we will create these reports? Which technology is used? Do we have some cloud-based applications? Do we have server-based applications on premises? Do we use just Excel and Outlook, or we use HR systems and so forth. So which technology we are using here, how we are handling this information, managing this information, what information we are getting and gathering. For example, I'm buying some stuff online from this company or that company, Amazon, eBay, whatever, Alibaba Express, and so forth. So they have my credit card details. They know about my physical address. They have my mobile number. They have many, many details. How they manage that? We think about that here. How our organization, when we collect information about customers or staff members, how we will manage these records, how we will back up these records, encrypt this information, how we will upgrade our environment, how we will get rid of this information even, and technologies. So what we are doing with the old machines, we are selling them to different organizations or charity organizations. We are donating them. Anyone can retrieve the information there, or we have to follow some guidelines, security, IT security guidelines, information security guidelines, or some policies, some regulations that we must, for example, destruct these hard drives, crash them, and get rid of them in a physical way. So we need to think about that. GDPR, for example, will be applied or not, credit card standards, and so forth. So second component is information and technology. Third component, partners and suppliers. We have partnership with Microsoft, Cisco, Dell, whatever. So we can't work alone. Even though if we are very small entity like coffee shop, small coffee shop, even though we need some suppliers to supply coffee beans, milk, and cups and everything. So we have partners and suppliers. We need to have agreements with them. We will monitor their performance. We have relationship with them. We have supplier management practices. We have service level agreements. We have service level management. We have contracts. We have performance monitoring and controlling, many things. Fourth component is the value streams and processes. So we are following some processes. When we hiring someone, when we firing someone, when we upgrade our servers, when we move to the cloud, when we create email, when we sell something, we follow some processes there. So these are the four components, and we have also some external factors. We call them PISTL, affecting our services. So PISTL, this is the acronym for political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental factors. So these 6 factors will affect any service anywhere. These factors could be, for example, some wars happening will affect the economy, which will in return will affect some social factors. Cisco released new product, Apple released the new iPhone, Samsung released the new phone for them, Microsoft released new Windows. This will affect also services all over the world. Changes in some laws and regulations. We faced in the past few years, we faced COVID-19, so affected everything, affected our daily life, affected our social life, affected our economy, affected our environment. So many things happen, even affected different policies and laws, regulations were in place. So these factors also will affect the service. We need to think about that when we design the service and provide this service. So yeah, we covered this part, the 4 dimensions here. Then when we deliver this service or multiple services, we will have some guiding principles. These guiding principles are very important. So we have 7 guiding principles. Guiding principle or the guiding principles, they are recommendations to guide an organization in all situations. They support successful actions and good decisions of all types at all levels. Ensure a common understanding and approach to service management across the organization. So here we have common understanding. They are universally applicable to almost any initiative, any project, any improvement. And to relationships with all stakeholders or stakeholder groups. So how many? 7 guiding principles, 7 ITIL guiding principles. What are they? Let's have a look. So we start with focus on value. We will focus on value when? Always. And every action. So every action, directly or indirectly, we focus on value. And this is in every aspect, in every action, every step, we focus on value with external stakeholders, internal stakeholders, users, customers, vendors, suppliers, with everyone. So that was the first principle. Second one, start where you are. So we need to consider what we have, what's already available. Can we reuse? Can we recycle? We need to observe directly what we have in our environment. What we have, I mean resources. Could be human resources or hardware, software, license, policies, and so on. So if we are improving the service, we can use some resources instead of just getting rid of everything and start from scratch. This will be a big waste of time and money and everything. So we can reuse some resources. We can send people to attend training to improve their performance. We can reuse these servers in different roles. We can reuse these policies in different areas. Third concept, progress iteratively with feedback. So it's agile methodology here. We don't do everything at once. We can't do big bang. So we will decompose the big initiative, the big project, into smaller parts. So manageable iterations. So we can execute them, we can monitor, we can improve, we can get this feedback from different stakeholders and embed that in the next iteration. So we always improve. Fourth, we will collaborate, all of us. We will promote visibility. So collaborate and promote visibility is the fourth principle. And here we work together. We work in IT. We will work together with HR, financial team, marketing department, other teams. We all work together to achieve the business goals, visions, missions, and so on. So we work together across different boundaries. And this will help us to achieve our goals, all of us. So this concept, collaborate and promote visibility, is the fourth one. Fifth one, think and work holistically. And as we know, no service, no department, no team can stand alone. We need to think about the organization as a whole, even though with our partners and suppliers, we have integrity. So we will think and work holistically across the organization and with other also organizations like partners, suppliers, vendors. We will keep it simple and practical. So we simplify things. So we will need to eliminate whatever is needed. Whatever is not needed. Yes, to correct that. Anything with no value, we get rid of. So we simplify steps, we simplify processes, we simplify procedures, and make them more practical. This will lead to the last principle, which is optimize and automate. We will optimize first, then we will automate. We will optimize resources, including human beings, HR. We will optimize technologies. Then we will automate as much as we can. So this will reduce human errors. This will improve customer satisfaction. This will give humans time to focus on the creative side of services, the personal interaction with the customer. So we will optimize and automate. So again, the 7 principles are: focus on value, start where you are, progress iteratively with feedback, collaborate and promote visibility, think and work holistically, keep it simple and practical, optimize and automate. When we apply these principles in every situation, you remember, in every situation, we apply that, the 7, or as much as we can, maybe 4, maybe 5, some. So we use these principles as guiding principles for our actions. This means we need also governance. Governance will direct the organization to achieve its goals and vision. So governance in many cases will be provided by board of directors. So we need principles, we need governance. And here we think about what's so-called the ITIL service value system. So ITIL service value system, or SVS, consists of 5 main components and inputs plus outputs. So let's have a look. This is the SVS. And in ITIL, this is the most important diagram we can see. So on the left hand, we have opportunity and demand. Opportunity means options or possibilities that add value for stakeholders. Demand means the need or desire for products and services among internal and external consumers. I'm reading that on purpose, I mean the definitions, because of the exam. So in exam, they may ask you about different definitions. So we have some inputs here. And you notice the arrow is 2-direction arrow. Why? Because sometimes we create this opportunity, we create this demand, we invented touch screen phones, we invented Bluetooth, we created new drink, Coca-Cola, 100 years ago. So we can create this demand, we can create this opportunity, we can affect that. So we have here some inputs to the system. On the other hand, we have outputs, and these outputs will give me the outcome, which is the value in terms of perceived benefits, usefulness, and the importance of something. Again, you notice the arrow, 2-direction arrow. Why? Because we are getting feedback. You remember, we will progress iteratively with feedback. So we are getting feedback here. We are getting requirements from customers. So the feedback will go to the system so we can improve. So the 5 components of the system. At the top, guiding principles. How many? 7 guiding principles. Then we have the governance, direction for the organization by board of directors or any governing body. Then we have the core element at the heart of the service value system, which is service value chain, SVC. In the service value chain, we have 6 activities here. We will discuss that in a moment. And the service value chain diagram is the second important diagram after this one. So in the service value chain, we have 6 activities. Then how we will conduct these activities? We will follow practices. So the practices will tell you how to do these activities. How many practices in ITIL? We have 34 practices in ITIL. 34 practices. Then the 5th component is the continual improvement. We will always improve. We will improve people, we will improve services, we will improve policies, we will improve hardware, software. We will always improve. We will never stop improving. So continual improvement here, it's integrated with the improve activity in the service value chain. So the service value system is flexible. It will help me to get rid of siloed work. It's integrated with other standards in project management, software development, and so forth. So here we see the SVC, service value chain. And in the service value chain, we have 6 activities. Of course, on the left hand, we have the demand, opportunity and demand feeding into the SVS from both internal and external sources. On the other hand, we have the value created for the organization, its customers, and the other stakeholders. So the 6 activities, they are not in sequence. It depends on what service we are doing. So we will plan for providing a service. We will plan for new initiative. We will plan for improving current services and so on. So we will plan always and we will improve. So 2 activities, planning and improving. We will engage, design and transition, obtain or build, deliver and support. We will deliver products and services and we will support these products and services. So let's say in the continual improvement here, we have many ideas, many initiatives from internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, suppliers, and so on. So we have many ideas. Let's upgrade to the latest Windows operating system. Let's move to the cloud. Let's upgrade our hardware. Let's upgrade our infrastructure. We have new branch. So whatever the ideas here, we keep them in CIR, continual improvement register. Then we prioritize, assess, and start working on one by one based on our budget, capacity, skill sets, and so on. Risks, value, many components. So we will have the ideas stored in CIR. Good. We will assess them and decide which one to start with. So we will plan for the new initiative. Let's say, for example, we are moving to the cloud. So we need to plan for this project. We will design the new network, the new cloud service. we will design that. In the designing, we need some information, so we need some resources. So obtain or build will provide the service components. Obtain or build will provide service components from vendors, so suppliers, partners. So they need to engage with suppliers or partners. So they engage with them. So they obtain 3 quotes, they obtain hardware, spare parts, they obtain information, they obtain license, whatever. We obtain software, or we build this software. We can obtain, then customize this software, provide that to design. Once designing finished, we will have transition phase, testing to the live environment. Then we will deliver the new service. The new servers now move to the cloud, so we have the servers up and running. Good. What we do after that, we will support. We will provide support. And here we enable the value through products and services. Are we improving? Definitely, we will improve. That's why we are not using 2000 or 2003 products anymore. We are not using Windows XP anymore. So it's a cycle, and these are the 6 activities we have in the service value chain. The sequence of these activities is the value stream. So deliver and support, ensuring the delivery and support for services according to agreed specifications. Design and transition, ensuring that the services continually meet expectations for quality, costs, and time to market. Improve, ensuring continual improvement across all value chain activity. And the 4 dimensions of service management. Acquire or build, ensuring that the service components are available when and where they are needed and meet the agreed specifications. Engage, providing engagement and understanding of stakeholder needs, transparency, and good relationships. Plan, enabling the shared understanding of the vision, status, and direction for all services. Again, I'm reading the definitions for the sake of exam and to reinforce the information we covered before. Then we have the practices. In the foundation level, actually, we don't discuss the 34 practices, we discuss 15. So we have continual improvement practice. In this practice, we use CIR, Continual Improvement Register. We use also the Continual Improvement Model, the 7-step model. So this is in the continual improvement. I will highlight the 7-step model in a moment. We have information security management. This is one of the practices under general management practice or practices. We have 3 categories. First one is the general management practices. Under this category, we have many practices. We are discussing just a few. So continual improvement is the first one. Information security management is the second one. And here we think about CIA, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Also, we think of authentication and non-repudiation. Then we have relationship management, and this is the link between the organization and its stakeholders at different levels, strategic and tactical levels. So here we think about how can we identify this relationship, analyze that, monitor these relationships, improving these relationships between organization and its stakeholders, between different stakeholders, and so on. We have supplier management. and from the name, this is managing. Managing means monitoring and controlling the relationship with different suppliers. So we can decide across the years, should we continue with this supplier or change the supplier to a different supplier, moving from this internet service provider to another one, or this hardware provider or cloud service provider to a different supplier. So we will monitor their performance to support the quality of the products and services. Second category, service management practices. And again, we discuss just few practices, not everything. So we have IT asset management, and this is the any component with a value, monetary value, any component with an invoice will be under the umbrella of asset management. So we use an asset management to maximize the value, control costs, manage risks, support decision-making about purchase, reuse, retirement of assets, and meet regulatory and contractual requirements. So asset management, anything with an invoice. Then we have monitoring and event management for the environment. I mean, the IT environment, the infrastructure, services, business processes, the information security, different services running like backup, service up and running, hardware, software, performance of the software, performance of the hardware, and so on. So we have monitoring and event management, which may lead to specific incidents and or problems. Release management practice. Here we are making new and changed services ready, available for use. We have also SCM or service configuration management practice. And here we have accurate and reliable information about the configuration of services with relationships between different CIs, configuration items. Of course, this is just a revision, not repeating the course again. So I'm not getting into details here. We've been discussing that for the past few days. So I'm just reminding you of what we have discussed before. Change enablement is different than change management. Change enablement will focus on service and product changes. So we have three types of change: emergency change, standard change, and normal change. Standard, pre-approved, pre-authorized, pre-budgeted for assist. Normal change needs to go to CA, change authority, and every type of change has its own CA, change authority, for approval or rejection. So this is the normal change. If the change needs approval through CA, so it is a normal change. The change management related to people aspect of the change. So change enablement for services and products, while change management for people. We have incident management. So here we minimize the negative impact of incidents, and we are trying to restore the normal service operation as soon as possible. If we don't know the root cause of the incident, or we have multiple incidents happening, so this could be escalated to problem management. And here we need to reduce this likelihood of incident in the future and the current one. So it's a reactive, proactive approach in problem management. So we will identify actual and potential causes of incidents. Then we will manage workarounds and known errors. In problem management, we have three phases of problems. I mean, dealing with problems. Service desk, one of the practices, and the main purpose is capturing the demand for incident resolution and service requests. It is a single point of contact for users. Service level management. Excuse me. Service level management, we have service performance. We monitor this service and we know about its level. So we will work on improving that. Of course, monitoring that, managing that, also improving the service level. So we need to assess the current performance, then plan for the new performance. So we will have a new initiative which will be added to the CIR. Then we will do the activities in the service value chain. Service request management, here we handle all predefined user-initiated service requests in an effective and user-friendly manner. If we have something outside of the catalog, outside of the predefined, so we should have a process to handle exceptions. Third category, technical management practices. And here we have the deployment management. In the deployment management, we will move new or changed hardware, software, documentation processes, or any other components to the live environment. So the difference between deployment and release is the product ready. For example, Microsoft released new Windows, so it's ready now. So it is released. It is available. I can download it, but I didn't yet. So it is not deployed. Once I downloaded this software, implemented this one, installed this operating system, it is deployed in the live environment, and live environment will include testing and staging. So deployment management here under these technical management practices. So yeah, I was telling you about the continual improvement, and I told you about the continual improvement model. Let me share this one with you, just a moment. So this is the 7-step continual improvement model. And you notice, let me make it a little bit smaller here. Maybe more, okay. So it can fit. You notice we start at the top with what is the vision for this initiative. So we are getting this vision from the business vision, mission, goals, and objectives. We ask the question, second question, where are we now? So we need to perform baseline assessment, our starting point. Then where do we want to be? What is the goal? What is the target? Of course, SMART goals, measurable targets. How long this will take us to achieve the goal or different goals, how much this will cost us, what are the resources, and what are the risks, so forth. How do we get there? So we will define an improvement plan, then we will execute this plan by taking actions. When we do that, we need to check, are we doing the right thing or not? Then of course, we take corrective actions through monitoring, controlling, and we keep checking until we reach, did we get there? So we have evaluation metrics, we have KPIs, and so on. So we check, did we get there? Have we achieved our goals or not? Maybe not, so we will have second iteration. You remember, we will work in an iterative way as the principle. So we will have a second iteration, third iteration, and so forth until we reach our goal. So we will always ask the question, how do we keep the momentum going? Even though if we achieved this goal, we need to think about next initiative, next goal, and next improvement. So we use here what's so-called continual improvement model, 7 steps continual improvement model. Okay. We discussed these points. With incidents, we will log and manage the incidents. We will prioritize the incidents. We will categorize, so we assign to different technical teams. In the problem management, as I mentioned, there are 3 phases. First one, problem identification. So here we will identify and log problems. So we will perform trend analysis, detect duplicate and recurring issues, identify any risks, analyze information received from different stakeholders. Then we go to the second phase. Second phase is the problem control. And here we analyze the problems and documenting workarounds and known errors. Make sure to search for workarounds and known errors definitions, and you understand them very well because they will ask you about that in exam. So known error, problem not solved yet. It's analyzed but not solved yet. Identified, analyzed but not solved yet. Workaround, temporary solution. So in the problem control, we analyze the problems and we will document workarounds and known errors. We will put the known errors, save them in the known error database. Workarounds may be in the knowledge management systems. Then third phase will be error control. And here we manage known errors. We will try to find permanent solutions, and this may involve a change request. We discussed service request management. So we need to have a process, predefined step-by-step practice. Service desk, as we mentioned, single point of contact, capturing demand, providing support for business and people rather than technical one. And we have service level management that manages service level agreements. So this is everything we discussed in the past few days, and this is to remind you with the ITIL Foundation version 4 course. Thank you for your time, and I'll stop recording now.